Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys, welcome to episode 584 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm happy to be with you, whether you're sipping your coffee or on your morning walk or maybe just driving along in your car. Whatever it is, I'm glad you're here. I'm happy to be back in my little studio talking with you guys. We were out of town for a long weekend. So wonderful. We had a great time at the lake with friends and family. The weather was gorgeous, a little bit chilly, and then it got pretty warm, which is great. We always have the best time at the lake. I mean, we usually take a morning coffee cruise, and then after spending the day on the lake, we'll take the boat back out after we've showered for an evening cruise before dinner. So amazing, so nice. Now, I am usually the first one to wake up every morning. I'm a morning girl. I talk about that a lot. I go to bed early and I get up early, but I'm used to that and I don't hate it. I love my mornings. Now, I noticed though, the first morning of our trip that I was sitting on the deck by myself having coffee overlooking the lake. It was lovely, but I suddenly noticed that there was part of me that was sort of waiting. So I was kind of waiting for Eric to wake up and join me, or waiting for my friend Donna to wake up and join me. Part of me was waiting for the next thing instead of just being fully present and aware and loving what was right in front of me at the moment. So when I noticed that, I went ahead and I got off the deck and I walked down to the dock, which is right by the water, and I sat enjoying the morning sun, and I just watched the steam come off the water. It was beautiful, and I think I was the only one awake in the whole cabin area because there wasn't one sound besides the water lapping peacefully and the birds singing, and there was an occasional fish jumping, and that ripple sound was just so beautiful. But that moment really made me wonder, like, how often am I partially waiting for the next thing instead of being fully present where I am? Do you ever do that? I mean, it must be pretty common because on our drive home from the lake, just so happened we were listening to a podcast with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he was talking about how most people feel stuck because they're waiting for something outside of them to change in order for them to feel fulfilled, or they're waiting for someone else to change in order for them to feel happy. And I told my husband to pause the podcast. It's hard for us to get through. I don't know if you guys are like this or not, but it's hard for us to get through an entire podcast because half the time we're pausing it so that we can talk about what they just said. I love doing that though. We didn't get even finished half the podcast because we were talking so much. So of course now I can't resist telling Eric about the moment on the porch where I was waiting for something to happen. And I told him about it and he laughed. He said, "Oh, just last week I was super excited for that trip to go to South America, that new location for work. But when I was there, I found myself thinking, oh, well, I can't wait to be home with Heidi." That's awfully sweet. But he realized that it was just because he was thinking he wouldn't have as much fun going sightseeing without me or to dinner without his little travel partner. And I get that. But he also said he realized he was doing that. So he went ahead and he booked a tour with a group, and then he went to dinner and had great interactions. He went to dinner by himself and had great interactions with the waiters. He even sent me pictures of his yummy fish dinner, which of course then I was wishing I was there too. But he did the same thing. He took that moment and realized, hey, I'm waiting for something else to happen in order for me to feel a certain way. And he just created a moment instead. We're often waiting to live, waiting to be happy, waiting to lose weight, waiting to make that move, waiting to learn that new skill, that new thing. I found myself doing that recently, waiting to learn that new thing. It was kind of a breakthrough moment for me. In fact, I've been doing a sketching, drafting, interior design presentation class. Talked about it a little bit. I'm doing it online so I can do it at my own pace. And I noticed that I absolutely devoured the hand sketch section because I love sketching and I do it naturally. I do a lot of it. But when it came to the hand drafting, I hesitated. Like, I didn't really want to do it because detail is not my favorite, and hand drafting can be very tedious and very detailed. So I found myself thinking, oh, I'll just wait on that section until I have a project that I need this for. But I realized as I had that thought that wouldn't it be a little late at that point? Like, I need to do the class and then the project will show up. I know that. I don't need to wait. I need to have the skill now and be proficient now in order to attract that type of project. And also in order to feel confident going into that kind of project. Remember, I did that podcast about Kobe Bryant saying if you're not confident, be more prepared, practice more. That's what makes you confident. So I did. I got in there. I realized I was doing that and hesitating. And I said, nope, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. I don't want to, so I must. So I got in there and I did the classes. And guess what? I remembered so much of it from design school, and this was just the refresher that I needed. And then lo and behold, I get a call about a new kitchen project coming up that will require me to be able to detail it out myself. Imagine that. Instead of waiting, I created. And that's how I feel about that moment at the lake. I created the perfect moment instead of waiting for someone else to create it for me. And Eric did the same thing in South America. He could have easily sat in his room and read a book or watched a movie and ordered room service, but no, he got out and lived. He got out and created the moment he wanted instead of waiting to be back home. And I love that he did that. But why do we do that? Like, why do we wait for the next thing? Why are we always kind of dying just to get to that next thing? I think part of it is how we're wired, because our brains are always planning, they're anticipating, they're problem solving. It's what kept humans alive for thousands of years. But in today's world, that constant forward thinking can rob us of the present. Dr. Dispenza said something else that stuck with me. When we're waiting for something external to change how we feel, we're giving our power away. We're saying, oh, I'll be happy when I get that raise, or I'll feel peaceful when my kids behave, or I'll start that project when I have more time. But here's the truth. Those external things, they might not ever align perfectly. And if we keep waiting, we're missing out on the life that's happening right now. Think about what that costs us. I mean, when I was on that deck waiting for Eric or Donna to join me, I was missing the magic of that quiet morning. I was missing the chance to feel fully alive in that moment. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to miss the beauty of now because I'm too busy waiting for then. What about you? What moments are you missing because you're waiting for something else? Maybe it's waiting for the weekend to relax, or waiting for a relationship to feel a certain way, or waiting for the right time to chase a dream. Whatever it is, I want to challenge you to notice that you're doing that. Because as I always say, when you notice it, then you can change it. And that moment on the deck only shifted because I noticed what I was doing. I caught myself waiting and chose to lean into the moment instead. So start paying attention when you're in a moment, whether it's a quiet morning or a conversation with a friend or even a mundane task like washing dishes. Ask yourself, am I here? Or am I waiting for something else? Just noticing is huge. And the other thing is to take action. I mean, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to start something, a new habit or a passion project or a tough conversation, just stop. The perfect moment is a myth. Dr. Dispenza talks about how our state of being is what creates our reality. So if you want to feel fulfilled, start acting like a fulfilled person now. And you want to feel creative, start creating today, even if it's a little messy. If you want to feel connected, reach out to someone you love right now. Small actions in the present build momentum and remind you that you don't have to wait to live the life that you want. That's my challenge to you this week, is to notice when you're putting your happiness or your success on hold for some future moment. Once you notice it, maybe then you could take one small action toward that thing that you're looking forward to. Maybe something that moves you forward. Or maybe it's just the act of noticing and being present in the moment you're in right now, instead of needing it to be different in order for you to feel a certain way. Nothing changes unless something changes. I'll never not love that statement. Share this with 3 people who share your love of growth. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.